barbershop conversation, guys. Feel free, hit the subscribe button. So, I had a chance. Thank you, Black Fight Fan. Had a chance to watch the Terence Crawford interview. I actually would have missed that because it wasn't even titled that I would have even caught it. Shout out to Ellie for conducting that interview. And let me say this. Do I always say that every time at the beginning of my videos? Let me say this. I just realized that. Y'all can say what y'all want. My videos be penetrating this boxing community. I don't care what nobody say. You know why? Because I speak truth. I speak, and at the end of the day, because your spirit supersedes your physical realm, right? And people know that I'm speaking from especially as it comes to these black fighters, I'm speaking from a space of like wanting them to do better as I see fit in Terence Crawford. You know, I've never said anything. I've always called Terence Crawford a great father, pound for pound the best fighter in the world. But I just hate when a white man is milking a black fighter willingly, and because it's because you can't you can't break energy, you only can transfer it, right? And so that just leads to the next incident, right? The next generation, the next generation, the next generation. And I'll say this. Terence Crawford, I haven't interviewed Terence Crawford a lot. I maybe average, I don't know how many times, but it's definitely not a lot, right? Terence Crawford doesn't stop for media. Terence Crawford, LA is a beautiful city. Let me say that. I'm gonna try and get the camera on. Y'all can see this shit. She's right behind me. Yeah, I got the angle to see her. Just let y'all see this shit. Look at this shit. Y'all can't see her ass though. But anyway, LA is a beautiful city. If you hit my car, we gotta exchange contact information.
It's so funny. You can get that anyway.
Oh, I can? Okay.
Hold on.
All right, I'm back, guys. I'm back. I didn't get her number. I definitely didn't get her number, but I'm gonna leave that up so y'all can see it and shit. But anyways, man, I'm just telling y'all, all my niggas out in other 49 states, LA is the most beautiful city in the world, man. I just turned down a girl with a fat ass, full C cups. You know what I mean? I don't play in these streets like that. I just pretend. But anyways, man, as I was talking about Terence Crawford, right? My videos permeate the boxing community, and people are gonna say, "What the fuck you talking about?" Because I come from a genuine place. I tell everybody, I don't want nothing from these fighters. I don't want to hang out with them. You never see me in clubs with these fighters. I really have no choice. Honestly, I'd rather hang out with Blue Blood, you know? I'm just being as honest and as G as I can be. He covers the fights for me when I travel to the East Coast. I'd rather just hang out with media members, you know? Those are my contemporaries for the most part. You know, I hang out with the Watson family. Outside of that, you know? And not because there's a level of that I don't want to cross. It's because, you know, I'm just not that anymore. I'm not 27 anymore. When I was 27, I hung out with a lot of NBA players, and, you know what I mean, I bought jewelry, sold it for half of what it was. I'm just not into that lifestyle anymore, you know. But as it relates to Terence Crawford says Bob Arum don't run him. From a macro perspective, he's absolutely right. Bob Arum don't run him. And let's just call a spade a spade. I'm not one for mincing words or but if Terence Crawford doesn't run him, he runs his opponent selection, right? And I can tell Terence Crawford was itching to get this shit out. He knows the narrative now. The reason why he has a narrative, which I began, which will be the hottest narrative for the next 18 months in boxing, you know, is that Terence Crawford can't pick his next opponent. Now, Earl Spence got wind of this now, and basically the entire boxing community is basically saying, why are you allowing Bob Arum to basically run and ruin your career? And people say, ruin? How the fuck did he ruin? He's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. He didn't give him Manny Pacquiao. You know, for a woman, it's like having babies, having kids, getting a house, but not marrying the man. You know, For a man on the first date, she give you everything. She give you everything. She's sensitive. She's graceful. She leads you in the right direction. You follow. You lead, and she don't give you no pussy on the end of the first date. You know, it's like working for a bonus, and you come up one transaction short of your bonus. You know, whatever bonus that may be. And if Errol Spence gets Manny Pacquiao, and it looks like Keith Thurman will get him before Errol Spence and Terence Crawford. Think about this conceptually. Just think about this conceptually. Adrian Broner was going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Bob Arum didn't want to give him $10 million, which was one of the dumbest moves Bob Arum ever could have made, because even if that fight doesn't generate $10 million, beating Adrian Broner is at least worth $10 million in boxing credibility, right? And boxing energy, right? And so I think Adrian Broner is the biggest winner out of all of this situation. You guys will say, what the fuck? The reason why Adrian Broner is the biggest winner out of all this, because Adrian Broner is a bigger star than he was at the beginning of this year. He needs to get a win. But Adrian Broner getting Terence Crawford is like, how did this happen? Because that fight didn't happen, and he was in a perfect position, because obviously same promoters. And but that's just it, man. So but anyways, man, I wish Terence Crawford well, and I'm genuinely rooting for the man, like holistically, spiritually. Like, I'm genuinely rooting for the man, but I know he has, let's just say he has one hand tied behind his back, you know. Bob Arum is in complete control. I literally have a Bob Arum contract on my computer, and it's not a good contract, you know. And especially how Bob Arum does the fighters from other countries. Oh, he just obliviates them. He destroys them. You know what I mean? But I don't know what Terence Crawford's contract looked like. I only got wind of it through verbal conversation. So, but I know he has a few more years left on his contract, and there's no way he can get out of it. You know, and every time he wins a belt, it basically incentivizes Bob Arum. You know, so and also incentivizes his other promoter. You know, he's just kind of in a bind, because ironically enough, just based off of common sense and what I know about how it's constructed, Terence Crawford can only make 92% of his income, period, because his first promoter gets 8% through perpetuity as long as he's with Bob Arum, you know. So, but I think if Bomac and them understood that, he wouldn't have re-signed with Bob Arum. You know, he would have deaded that contract by signing with someone else for one fight, and then if you want to go back to Bob Arum and start the new contract. You know, there's so many loopholes as it relates to getting out of contractual obligations and stuff like that. But I want Terence Crawford to get the fights. I'm salivating at the aspect of covering that fight. Terence Crawford, Errol Spence, Terence Crawford versus anybody. You know. Terence Crawford versus Kell Brook, I think, is a credible fight. I think it's a good fight. I think Terence Crawford wins. I think that will be a great name on his resume. I think that will be his biggest and his best. You know, he got credit for Amir Khan from me before the fight, but that Amir Khan that walked into the ring that night was, 65% of what the Amir Khan that I knew, you know. So, but you know, it's just tough when you see a man in his prime. It's like Mitch Richmond in Sacramento, you know what I mean? Dominique Wilkins in Atlanta, you know, like, it's like, okay, you're great. So, like, it's like, we're never ever going to see you at your apex. We think you have it in you. We believe you have it in you, but you know, it's like Barry Sanders and the Detroit Lions. Was he better than Emmitt Smith? Absolutely. Emmitt Smith won 3 of 3 championships. Barry, had to retire early, you know, because he just got tired. He's just like, man, I'm tired of this, you know. Calvin Johnson. Who's better, Calvin Johnson or Randy Moss, you know? It's a great question. Randy Moss went over to New England and got his championships, you know. So There's so many stories in sports about being great and never ever ever getting that that the acknowledgement. Andre Dawson with the Chicago Cubs, how great was he? Ryan Sandberg, right? But Steve Sachs gets more credit at second base than Ryan Sandberg. I think Ryan Sandberg plays second base. Darryl Strawberry wasn't better than Andre Dawson, but who do you remember now? Darryl Strawberry or Andre Dawson? You obviously will remember Darryl Strawberry. They both play right field, right? You both will remember them a lot better. This is what Terence Crawford is genuinely up against. So, but anyways, man, I'm gonna do a part 2 later. I gotta go on here and go eat because I gotta catch a movie. The goal is to watch a movie today, and honestly, I'm going to movies by myself, and I'm going to take a nap. I'm about to go pay $12. I want to see the movie. I think I'm going to go see Amazing Grace. I believe the Aretha Franklin movie. I genuinely, inherently want to watch the movie, but I know I'm gonna fall asleep 20 minutes into the movie because, like I said, anytime I have silence in my life, I just doze off because I don't sleep at night. You know what I mean? So, as much as I should. So, anyways, man, barbershop conversation. Terence Crawford, what's next for you? Your next move got to be your best move. If I'm Terence Crawford, for real, I see if I can find a buyout. Jay Prince has damn near infinite amounts of power and wealth as it relates to getting stuff done. He has the capabilities of doing that. Maybe him, Andre Ward, can put a package together and buy him out of his contract. If it's just $1 million, Terence Crawford, I'll buy you out. You know what I mean? That's as far as I can go. But obviously, it takes more than that. So, but anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to subscribe button. And I say this from a genuine place. I want Terence Crawford to fight all those guys. But guys, let me explain something to you. Bob Arum won't allow it to happen. Listen, you can't slap a man in the face and then ask to borrow $10. That's just how it goes, man. You can't call Danny Garcia, Sean Porter basically pieces of shit and then you need him to legitimatize you. To make you legitimate. You just can't do that. So anyways, man, barbershop conversations, man. I love y'all. Have a great Sunday. Happy Cinco de Mayo, baby. Cinco de Mayo. I wish I could have a taco today, man. Fuck. I'm officially off of being a vegan on Wednesday, yo. Wednesday. That's why I'm at Whole Foods right now. At Whole Foods. I'm about to go get some quinoa, roasted potatoes, and some vegan chocolate chip cookies. And that's going to be my lunch and dinner. I'll get enough for lunch and dinner. And then I'll just carry on. So that's what I'm having today. I'm going to go fall asleep watching this movie. And then that'll do it. And then the basketball game comes on like at 5:30, right? So I got 2 hours. So anyways, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. And let this be a lesson to all my kings out there. You come to LA. You go to Whole Foods. You're going to find a woman with a fat ass and a full CD cup. I'm just trying to tell y'all niggas, man. Y'all just got to come to LA. I turned her down for y'all. I wanted to keep more fish in the sea for y'all. You know what I mean? So anyways, barbershop conversations, man. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Y'all niggas better get to LA, man. The land of milk and honey. I'm trying to tell y'all niggas. Peace.